No, just we're gonna be us. We're gonna do what we do.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk
Yeah.
about scary stuff, maybe our own experiences, maybe just stories that we've heard.
And worship the fire like the fire gods we are. Yeah.
Ooga chaka, ooga chaka,
Ooga
ooga
chaka,
chaka,
ooga,
ooga
ooga,
chaka,
ooga
ooga
chaka,
chaka,
ooga chaka,
ooga
ooga
chaka.
chaka. I can't. The fire. Oh my god, it's so dragon a pig on fire. All right. So, holy oh, I thought that was a spider.
Okay, can we actually start?
I did start trying. I just thought the freaking floating head right here was a spider though, because it was moving around. What was it? There was a report of these girls. They were like only in middle school. They killed their best friend as a sacrifice to fucking Slenderman.
Dude, that's old though. Remember? It's been a while actually.
Yeah, I
But
know,
did
but I
you
was just
know?
like,
Did you know that actually the Slenderman movie actually got delayed because of that?
really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
the Slenderman movie got delayed because of that. The dad of the girl talked to the people making the movie, and he was like, "I would not actually like it for you guys to, because it was yeah."
So, the Midnight Game was believed to be an old pagan ritual which was used for punishment if you had dared to disobey the gods. Um, it was a pretty popular game for people who just were interested in the paranormal. You begin by getting a certain amount of things, a candle, lighter, paper, something to write with, and then something to prick your finger to draw blood, and some salt. So you begin a little bit before midnight, and you turn off all the lights in the house, and you go into a certain room, and you place the papers with your name on it, and your blood that's on the paper in front of a closed door. You light the candle and you put it on top of the paper. And you close the door and you knock on the door 22 times. But your final knock must occur at 12 a.m. exactly. Then you open the door, get your candles, and you blow them out and then relight the candles immediately. And then you walk around the house to try to escape the Midnight Man who's going to follow you throughout the night.
That sounds terrifying, and it also sounds like dark magic.
How does it end?
Well, the game ends at 3:33 a.m. So you just have to stay moving throughout until 3:33 a.m. Or you can draw a circle of salt and stay within the circle of salt. But many have speculated that if you do that, the game actually doesn't end and the Midnight Man continues to haunt you until you play the game again and last until 3:33 a.m.
Well, isn't there another scapegoat or something?
Not really. Honestly, if you start the game, you have to finish it. Every other method, like people have speculated that the Midnight Man will still haunt you no matter what.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I've heard the story of this place where apparently in the world they never disclose the area because apparently it's a part of sacred land, I guess. But it's a place where apparently sorry, apparently you can walk to hell, like literally. It's a place where it's a cave. You walk into the cave and you'll reach a ledge, and at this ledge it's pitch black at the bottom. Nothing you can see. But the moment you jump off the ledge, apparently there's this like kind of like a barrier. Once you pass through it, you enter the gates of hell, essentially. There was a story behind it with a girl where she was, I think, 15 when she fell in by accident. And in our time conception of the world, she was gone for 4 years, but her timescape there, she was there for like 30 years. And apparently in what she described it as hell because it was literally just burning, constant screaming pain and just straight anger, a lot of anguish and stuff like that. The whole conception of what hell is. And apparently the stuff that she ate, she learned to survive off these fruits, like the certain, it's not a, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's a certain food that looks like a pear that's red and it looks like it's super dried out. And it looks really, really like rotten. And she learned to survive off of this. And when she finally came back to the human world, she had been like, she began to start performing dark magic and shit. And she was eventually sent to a mental hospital where she killed herself, or so they said she killed herself. It's really hard to explain what happened to her, but somehow she apparently snapped her own neck.
How do you do that? What?
And I know, in a mental ward too. Like, your arms are tied behind you. How do you snap your own neck? And I guess that's how she killed herself.
I feel like there's something more sinister in that, honestly.
I mean, when you're in the gates of hell and you escape, something's gonna bring you back.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's what happened.
But that's interesting, though.
Yeah, and the most interesting part about it was like to think that there's a way that we as humans can get to hell without dying yet, though. Like,
but the thing is, if you get to it and you go,
you're not coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's all funny games till thunder strikes.
The Ruma-san, also known as the bath game, is actually described as basically the deadly version of red light, green light. So I'll read off what I found, right? After initial summoning ritual has been performed, it follows the basic rules of a Japanese children's game called Daruma-san ga ko. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. Which basically translates to literally the Daruma doll fell down. The player is it, while Daruma-san attempts to catch it. But if Daruma-san catches you, well, let's just say you don't want that to happen. Okay, Daruma or Daruma dolls are traditional symbols of luck. The Daruma-san of this game, however, seems you basically need one player requirements. You need a bathroom with a bathtub. A standing shower may not be suitable or, just useful. You have to actually use a bathtub. Begin at night just before you go to bed. Shed your clothing and enter the bathroom. Fill the bathtub with water and turn out the lights. Climb into the tub and sit down facing the faucet and taps. Close your eyes and begin to wash your hair. As you wash your hair, you gotta repeat Daruma-san fell down a couple times. Do not stop repeating them until you have finished washing your hair. Do not open your eyes. If you have performed this action correctly, you will gain a mental image of a fall landing face first on a rusty tap and gouging her right eye out. Should you hear any noise behind you or feel movement in the tub, do not turn around and do not open your eyes. Ask aloud, why did you fall in the bathtub? Allow the question to hang in the air, then keeping your eyes shut, carefully stand up and get out of the tub. Do not trip and fall yourself, and do not drain the tub. Exit the bathroom, shutting the door behind you. You may now open your eyes. Leave the bathroom as you left it. Water in the tub, door shut until morning. Do not turn on any lights. Go to sleep. You ready for the main event, Eric?
Sure.
Alright. Awakening at your usual time the game begins. The moment you open your eyes, go about your day as normal. You will feel a constant presence behind you. It is likely that you should turn to look. You will see nothing. However, glancing over your right shoulder may occasionally give you a glimpse of her.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
Okay.
Fuck you, Mother Nature.
Her hair will be black and tangled, and she will have only one eye. She will attempt to get closer and closer to you as the day goes on. Should you spot her and find that she's too close to comfort, shout Tarumue, which basically means stop and run away. The idea is to put some distance between you and do not allow her to catch you. The ending. Capture her in your gaze by looking over your right shoulder and shout Kita, that is, I cut you loose, while swinging your arm down a chopping motion. If you have performed this action correctly, a winning condition will have been achieved and the game will be over. If you have not performed this action correctly, run. Additional notes: if she is fond of water and dark spaces, as such, it is recommended you avoid immersing yourself in or crossing running water, as well as traversing dark spaces until the conclusion of the game. Use the Tarume command sparingly. Each time you use it, the amount of time for which it will stall her will diminish, unless use it only when absolutely necessary. The ending must be performed before midnight. Failing to do so will grant her permission to enter your dreams. Do not allow her to do this. Additionally, performing the ending is not as easy as it seems. If she suspects you are about to try to end the game, she may hide. You must have her in your sights when you perform the Kita command. Concerning second attempts, it is not recommended that you play this game more than once. Should you play it a second time, she will begin in the same position she was in at the conclusion of the previous game. This will not provide adequate distance to escape her. Do not let her catch you.
Yeah, honestly, none of these games I would ever play. I feel like it's too risky.
Well, yeah, it is too risky.
I know, but some people do it for just the fun of it.
Yeah, because they think it's fun games. They don't think it's real till an actual spirit takes after you.
A lot of people don't believe in ghosts. A lot of people don't believe in the supernatural.
And that's that. I mean, people believe what they want to believe. You know, it's just your belief in whatever you want to believe in.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't tell you you're wrong, but it's like I can't even prove you wrong either. So, you know, it's just out there. Everyone has their own opinion on everything.
It's very true. Have you guys heard of the elevator game?
Apparently Juan has. I've never heard of any of these games.
So this game, you have to find a hotel that's at least 10 stories tall, and you have to be alone, so no one else can join you throughout this process.
It would be better to have a buddy, but okay.
It would be, it really would be. First, once you step into the elevator, you have to press the button to get on the 4th floor. Then you go to the 2nd, then you go to the 6th, 2nd, and then 10th. But you do not get out on any of these floors. Once you do that, you go to the 5th floor, and there should be a woman that would come into the elevator. You should not speak to her, nor look at her. And then you press the button for the 1st floor. If you press and go to the 1st floor, but the elevator goes to the 10th, you should remain on the elevator because you're still playing the game. If you press the button to go to the 1st floor, and the elevator goes to the 1st floor, then exit the moment the doors open and do not speak or look back into the elevator. Once you reach the 10th floor, if you do happen to go to the 10th floor, you can choose to get off or you can stay. If you choose to get off, the woman that's right beside you may ask you a question and even call your name, but you should not answer her. Now you have reached the other world.
There's this game that you can only play if you're in the mountains. Because apparently it's safer to play in the mountains because the spirits don't have much control. But in the game, what you do is you basically... This is the worst part about the game. In the game, you basically take control of a spirit. And so the problem with it though is you have to be in the mountains. That's the first rule to it. Or it's not a rule, it's more like it's just to keep you as safe as possible from the spirit. And the second rule, which you have to do in order for the game to work, is you have to find a place where someone has died throughout the time, basically. Someone who's died in the mountains, you have to find a mountain and be in the area of where they died. And it can be from somewhere like an old time or recent. It's just the spirit still lingers around, basically. So what you do is, it's sort of like a ritual, kind of. You place the candles in this kind of like the satanic kind of ritual symbol, the star pattern. Only instead of having blood and stuff, you just draw on the dirt on the ground or whatever you're standing on. You draw it on the symbol. Only you have to connect the candles doing not the star pattern, but it's the 2 triangles. And you have to do the triangles facing obviously opposite from each other because that's how you make the star for it. But you have to draw the first triangle upside down and the first triangle facing up. And this next part depends on how many people you have. So if there's 3 people or more, depending on the number, you can't have more than, what is it? How many edges are on the star? 6? Yeah, you can't have any more than 6 people because each person has to be standing
5.
at the... No, on the satanic star.
Oh.
So you...
Wait, no, 5, yeah.
I thought it was 6 sides.
It's still a regular star.
Is it? Oh. Oh, then it's 5. Because if it's more than 5, each one has to stand at the corner of a star. That's why.
Wow.
And then, so whoever's the person who's taking control of the spirit has to stand in the center of the circle without messing up the star. They have to keep the star intact as much as they can. And what they do is they start chanting, "Spirit, come one with me." You say this 5 times, and what should happen is the candles, you should see the flame from the candle start going inwards towards the person in the center. And what it does is the person will black out for a second. The person in the center will black out, and once they black out, just don't move. First of all, if you move, you'll enrage the spirit, and possibly things could get bad. After about 5, or even a minute, maybe 5 seconds, the person should wake back up, and when they do, they should be able to see another person. It should be whoever it is that they're taking the spirit's control of. It should be that person. No one else can see him except you. Only he'll obey everything you tell him to do. Now, in order to end this trance with the spirit or connection with the spirit, you have to leave the mountains or leave the area of where you did the ritual at, and you have to bathe yourself in salt water. I don't know why it's salt water, but it's salt water. You have to bathe yourself in salt water. But basically, it allows you to take this spirit and command the spirit. And the reason they tell you they tell you not to keep control of the spirit for anything longer than 5 days, because anything longer than 5 days can enrage the spirit to a classified level 5, which can make the spirit haunt you for the rest of your life and follow you everywhere and make your life a living hell. And by anything longer than 5 days, apparently there's like a chain basically, and you basically make this chain unbreakable after 5 days, and it sticks with you forever. But the spirit, it's just like, it's a way to take control of the spirit. People don't do this because people end up forgetting that you can't do it for more than 5 days, or the spirit, there's a dangerous chance. This is the biggest problem, is the dangerous chances that the spirit could be stronger than you. And if the spirit's stronger than you, it could take control over you. Whoa. Yeah.